Hi, my name is Rob Falvo, and I am the coordinator and professor of percussion at Appalachian State University Hayes School of Music in Boone, North Carolina. So in this masterclass, I will talk about and maybe demonstrate a little bit from the junior high audition etudes set 4, which consists of an excerpt on snare drum and then an excerpt on concert style bass drum. And it's what I just demonstrated for you in performance in the video before. So as a snare drum concert style player, there are 6 basic rudiments, 3 roll rudiments, single stroke rolls, double stroke rolls, and triple stroke rolls. The triple strokes turn into your multiple bounce roll. And then there are 3 grace note rudiments, and that's the flam, drag, and rough. So in this etude, we have single strokes, we have multiple bounce rolls, we have flams, and we have a double stroke roll. So we have plenty to do here. Okay, I'm going to play this. The beginning part now is our single stroke rolls with accents and crescendo decrescendos, which is a real challenge for any concert style snare drum player. So I'm going to play it very slowly in the beginning because I would like it to be as consistent and articulate sounding from beginning to end. Okay, so I might start with a metronome at maybe even 50. I might play it like that until it's at least about 5 times where it's consistent at that metronome marking, and then I would bring up the tempo until it's up to tempo and consistent. And here is 60. Okay, that's up to the second measure, third beat, which starts the multiple bounce roll. Okay, and so I'm going to use the shading of the drum to create those crescendo decrescendos as well. And the shading is where on the drum I want to play, and it will depend on which dynamic I want to use. So for piano, I'm going to be closer to the edge of the drum. And if it's pianissimo, maybe even closer to the edge, right? As long as I'm getting a good snare sound, I can go as close to the edge as I want. And then for a louder sound, maybe mezzo piano, mezzo forte, and then more towards the center, I'm going to have my fortes and accented fortes and fortissimo strokes, maybe in the direct center for that carrot top accent, a very heavy accent. Okay, and for the multiple bounce roll, I'm going to practice those, and there's a whole routine for practicing your multiple bounce roll, all right? So loud multiple bounce roll is going to, in the beginning, it's going to be mainly just very quick triple strokes on each hand to have it sound consistent. Right? Okay, those 3 strokes on each hand, and it becomes very tight sounding so that nobody really hears it as 3 strokes on each hand. It's becomes a very consistent multiple bounce roll. Softly, I'm going to practice my buzzes on each hand. And I'm going to practice to see how many buzzes I can do, maybe create it as long as I can, and then maybe create it with different articulations. Maybe a shorter buzz with a fulcrum, pinching my fulcrum, and maybe a more extended buzz by just dropping the stick. And then for this is for your soft multiple bounce rolls. So I'm going to play now one stroke and then overlap with the next stroke. And do it the other way as well, starting with my right hand. So that's an overlap, and then I'm going to overlap a third stroke. And overlap a fourth stroke. Right? And then I'm just going to have it so it's consistent. I'm going to play it long. And when I get louder, it begins to turn into a triple stroke roll. And when I go softer, it's the same thing except in reverse. It's going to be a triple stroke roll to a buzz. And that's the way I'm going to practice for consistent buzz rolls or multiple bounce rolls. And that will allow me to play this excerpt easier and more consistently at any dynamic level, right? Because we have, in this excerpt, we have piano rolls with accents, forte rolls with accents, and we want them, again, to be consistently sounded. There's also a drag in here, which I just realized. And so that drag is consisting of two grace notes and a target note, or two grace notes and the main note. And I'm going to want it to be a little crescendo in the grace notes to give it a little bit of a color and a little pop there. So I'm going to do it really slow to develop my drags. Right? And as I get closer to the target note or the main note, the space in between each of those notes is going to be less. So as you can see, it's like a little accelerando. I just exaggerated it, and I'll do it again. Right? And then I'll go quicker and quicker until it becomes, again, consistent. And I'll just do it on the left-handed drags for now. And that way it'll develop your drags so that they can be consistent and have a little bit of a phrase in that short time using just those 3 strokes. Okay, I think that's it for today, and we'll see you in the next masterclass.